Hello and welcome to the Social Recruiting Show. I'm Katrina Collier. I'm a social recruiting trainer and speaker. I'm of course joined by my gorgeous co-host Audra Knight, employer branding genius, nerd, non-cast wearing, blood cat owning, awesome self. Mind you, I can't see her, so hopefully everyone else can. And today we're super excited to be speaking to talent acquisition leader Stephen Kosakow about hopefully sane stuff like recruitment and candidate engagement. But I have a feeling he's going to talk about Lycra more than that. Hello, Mr. Kosakow.
Hello.
Welcome. Have we lost Audra?
I don't think we have Audra.
We don't have Audra. Oh, we can hear her. We can't see her.
I can see me. Well, I'll listen to you. So, Stephen, I've known you for almost like a year now, maybe 2 years. But can you tell other people about how you got into recruitment and what you're doing now? What kind of work you're working on?
Absolutely. I'm hearing a really weird echo. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
Have you got a browser open on your desktop for Facebook or anything?
Yep. So I'll tell you about myself, and then I'm going to switch to my other headphones. Sound good?
I know, just in case you've got a browser open with Facebook on or something like that, that can cause problems because we stream it live on Facebook. So if you've got anything like that open, you might be hearing that. There's no echo on this end.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So I'm Stephen Kosakow. I am a talent acquisition leader. And in addition to running talent acquisition, I'm also a group fitness instructor. I teach Zumba. I also teach a core class as well as a strength core and cardio class. So it's my side hustle.
Your side hustle. Everyone's got to have a side hustle. Actually, one of the girls at Disrupt HR this week spoke about having a side hustle. And I realized Disrupt HR was my side hustle. So Tris can't see you, Audra. You've disappeared. I'm going to close you out and then invite you back on. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dear. It's not happening today. So when we had the conversation before you came on the show, it was all about, okay, so you do group fitness and you have to motivate an audience and you feel there's some parallels. Can you explain more about that?
Sure. So why don't I first ask everybody who's on this call to think about a time in their life where they had to try something new, right?
Yeah.
So imagine you want to go to a Zumba class.
Yeah. She's
and
here.
People say, hi, Audra.
We can see you.
Yeah, ask Zumba. I can relate to that because it would scare me.
I wouldn't go because Stephen would be at the front dancing away and I'd be like, nah, I'm not having that.
All right. So, as I was saying, imagine the first time you try something new. If it's trying a new fitness class or dancing for the first time, it can be really scary. Something will make you want to say yes to it.
Yeah.
So when I teach classes, oftentimes people will kind of loiter in front of the studio and they'll say, I don't want to do Zumba. I have 2 left feet.
Yeah.
I don't have rhythm. I'll bump into each other.
Yeah.
I'm too fat, too out of shape. I'm too old. I'm too this.
Yeah, you pretty well covered everything I'd say, yeah.
But the fact is, something makes them say yes eventually. Relate that to courting passive job seekers.
Yeah.
Right? If you're looking for a candidate for some time, or you're that candidate, you don't want to dip your toe in the water yet, but something makes you say yes.
Yeah.
So what is that special something that makes you say, yes, I'll talk to that recruiter? Is it because you had a relationship with them?
Isn't it the energy of the recruiter? How passionate they are, or how I don't know, how approachable they look, or how kind they are. Doesn't it come down to the recruiter?
It is. And in group fitness, it's the same thing. It's about how you create an inclusive environment, right? So if someone says to me, I don't have 2 left feet, we talk about that.
Yeah.
Or I generally will ask, what are you looking to get out of this? What are your fitness goals?
Yeah.
If someone says, well, I want to feel better about myself, I want to lose weight, then I talk to them about how this will make them feel better about themselves, right? Or how it will make them lose weight. Same thing in recruiting. We pre-qualify candidates, right?
Yeah.
The best LinkedIn messages are those when someone says, hi, you're an accountant. I'm looking for an accountant. Interested in talking? No.
Yeah.
Right. What works best is when people actually engage somebody, ask them about themselves, relate it back to it. That's what we do in group fitness.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to get Audra back on. It's very distracting.
I'm going to put my headphones on here too.
I think it's because you were so worried about Jack. This is the problem. It's so weird. It says she's accepted and connecting, but she's not here. So you can do Zumba with 2 left feet. This is the more important question, I think. You can't hear me now. Oh my God, this is too funny. Stephen, I can't hear you. I can't hear him now. Oh God, okay, this is really funny. Okay, now you're here.
Hey.
Stephen is poor guy. He's like,
he was doing fine, but then he just got quiet. What would happen then?
I don't think he's. It says accepted and connecting. He put different headset on, and I couldn't hear him.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Oh, how funny. Huh?
If he gets back on, we should, because I'm plugged in, so it's not. If the Wi-Fi is slow, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it sounds really weird though. Yeah, he's not getting back on now. Oh, this is really funny.
Never stop the shows when you're gone.
Okay, you're plugged in, but I can't see you, so there is definitely something wrong.
You can't see me?
No, you just disappeared again.
Oh.
And Stephen isn't getting back on.
It's so weird.
This is the second. Oh no, that was. When was the last time it was like this?
Is this platform just getting kind of?
Considering how much we pay for it, I hope not.
What am I gonna do when you're gone? I can't.
Oh, believe me, it's easy to use on the back end.
Okay. So why would he not be able to get back in? I couldn't be messing him up.
I don't think his Wi-Fi was very strong there in the gym.
Yeah. Everything seems fine with mine.
It's not even accepted and reconnecting at this point. He's not messaging you, is he? Here we go. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. But we can't. Can we hear you? Speak, Stephen.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, we've go quick talk.
Hey, we're nervous about Zumba.
Can I just say, smart ass, Mark Lundgren, smart ass. I just read your message. He's like, this is why I use Zoom and I pre-record. That wouldn't be the fun, would it?
Oh,
okay.
No. A minute ago.
Okay. We're gonna have to. I don't know what we're gonna have to do.
Could he have just changed because we could hear him? Doesn't make any sense. Unless it's a Wi-Fi thing.
I can't see you and I can't hear him. That's really funny.
Oh,
waiting for Stephen to reconnect. Oh my God. Anyone who's joined, like I know Tristan's never been on the show before and he's probably thinking, these guys are so inept.
Yeah.
Waiting for Stephen to reconnect. No, he's gone now. Now he's accepted and connecting.
The Wi-Fi work. It could just be the area. I mean, everyone has no power down.
Yeah, you've got loads of snow, haven't you? And isn't that what happened with Rachel as well?
Yes, she was out of power. Stephen doesn't even have power. That's why he went to the gym.
Yeah, we might just have to reschedule. Again.
Right. Hey.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, okay, I think we got it.
Okay, quick. So we were talking about candidate engagement.
We were.
Quick,
Hi,
go,
everybody.
talk. Before you stop, keep talking.
I have a hard time not talking. All right. Where do we leave off? So what I was saying was before is that before all this nonsense, a lot of people, before they go to any group fitness class, they have some sort of trepidation or fear, right? They're doing it because they want to break through something, right? It's either to feel better about themselves, it's either to get stronger, it's to increase their heart rate, it's to be in a social setting, etc.
Yeah.
So something makes them say yes to that, right?
Yeah.
And it's something that takes time, right? And when I teach class, I teach a core class, I teach a cardio class, I teach some Tabata stuff, I teach Zumba. A lot of people will watch the class for a long time before they actually decide to come into the class.
Yeah.
Right. And one day something makes them say yes. Sometimes it's just because they have friends who are in the class. Other times I kind of stalk them a little bit and say, hey, I saw you were watching the class. You know, what are your goals? Right. So we kind of talk a little bit about what they're looking to achieve. Right. And a lot of times there's that layer of fear that people have to break through before they actually want to dip their toe in the water for a fitness class. Right. And the same thing with candidates as they are passive job seekers, and then as they extend to become actually real candidates. And it's the level that we engage them with as recruiters and as talent leaders. As I was saying before, I'll ask people about what their goals are. Right. Yeah. And in recruiting, again, we don't just jump into it and say, hi, I want a job. Do you want a job? Here's a job for you. Because no one's going to respond.
But most recruiters do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most,
like a good 70%. Yeah. Want a job? Oh,
right. And
I know if
I went to, no, it's true. And I think that you might be lucky from time to time with that approach. I might be lucky if someone walks by and say, hey, do you want to try taking a class? Do you want to do a class which focuses on strength, core, and cardio? It might turn some people off. Some people might say yes. But if we talk about what their goals are, and if someone says to me, oh, you know what? I haven't worked out, Stephen, in 6 months. I'm recovering from an injury. I don't think I can do any classes. And if I say, well, actually, this is a very inclusive class. I will guide you through every single aspect of the class. I'll give you modifications for everything. There's going to be low impact, high impact options. And if for some reason you want to skip some stuff, but I will stay with you through the whole class. They'll say, do you know what? Let me try. And then they'll stick it through, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I said to everyone on this call right now, I want everyone to do a burpee.
Nope.
You just said no.
Yep. Why
did you say no?
Well, I just spent 45 pounds at the chiropractor getting my spine realigned, so I'm not about to do a burpee and put it back out.
Right, Audrey, what about you? Why can't you do a burpee right now? If I just said everyone do 5 burpees.
Well, actually, I'm not even what's a burpee?
Well, there you go. Okay.
So here's the thing. Dare give a burpee demonstration, though, because,
I'll show you
we're still recovering from the vest.
Well, here's the thing. So that word,
5 pints.
That word burpee kind of struck some fear in people, right? Because they're like, well, I can't do it. I'm not fit enough. And you said something really important, Katrina. People have physical injuries or they're recovering from things. So before I teach a class, I always will ask, does anybody in this group here have any things that might cause them not to be able to do certain moves or exercises? And I have women who have a prosthetic leg in one of my classes. I have other people who have bad knees. As through time, our body changes. So I'll say, well, let me give you some modifications. So if I said to you, and I'm gonna show you.
Oh my God! This is the first.
Okay, this is off.
It's become a social dancing show.
Or slow squat down, hands down, step out, step up, left, right.
Is now when we're telling the video it's not so right? Yeah.
If I guided you through it, and if I said to you, there's an option for everything, right? And if I said, and I explained why it's important for you, that'll be different. But if I said, you know what, actually, in this one, we're not going to do a full burpee. We're going to do a slow burpee. Follow me. Let's have our knees out, our legs outside of our hips. Let's bend down, our knees tracking our toes, brace the core, come down to a flat back. If I guide you through every part of it, you might feel better, right? Or if I say everyone do 5 push-ups, some people might go on their knees. Some people might not. People might have the wrong alignment. If I said put your your palms under your shoulders, let's tuck your toes, push up. If you want to go on your knees, that's great. So these are things that we do in fitness, but we always want to set up and understand first, do people have medical issues that will stop them from doing it? Because it's a big block. If I said, just do 10 push-ups, do this, do that, not everyone can do it. So then the same thing when we reach out to candidates, right? We're not going to say, here's the job. Because they might not want that job. Just because their LinkedIn profile says they've done it in the past doesn't mean they want that to do that in the future.
So you think we should be asking more questions? And
right, ask questions, make it about them, right, Katrina? Right, Audra?
Yeah. I don't know what Audra's saying. I'm just getting
well, if you make it more about them and how this will help them, versus how it will help you. That's what really works, right? So for example, if I said to everybody, I want us all to do some push-ups, right? Or to do some sit-ups.
Yeah.
If I said just do sit-ups, that's not going to help. But if I explained, hey, we're actually strengthening our abdominal areas, which will give us, you know, good functional strength. But the other thing is you have to know your audience. If I said, oh, when we do this, we're all going to get a great six-pack. Well, guess what? Not everyone wants a six-pack.
I
right?
do.
Okay, well, that's good. But the thing is, knowing your audience.
Have a one-pack.
Yeah.
Or you can like our no pack, right? Or two pack.
I have to say, after that week with you guys, it wasn't even a week. All that beer that we drank in San Francisco. Oh my God, I came back and went, holy crap, I can't get my jeans
talk about
up.
That. But the thing is that knowing your audience is important. So like knowing that Katrina drank like 20 beers before a fitness class, she's probably not going to like be ready to like do those squats and burpees. But again, explaining to knowing your audience is really important, because in some of my class, like people in their 70s, 80s, and 20-year-olds in the class, a lot of people don't want that six-pack. So we'll say things instead like, hey, if we really want to develop functional strength so we can shovel snow today, right? Or, you know, we want to develop oblique strength so we can, you know, we can turn to the side, whatever it is. That's really important. But again, knowing your audience and recruitment allows us to engage with them in that same way, because not everyone is going to want what you have.
Right? So John has put that rather well. A different kind of burpee. John Rose.
Well,
John Rose
a different kind of burpee.
Drink beer in Toronto and probably burp a lot. The other burpee. So so like ex-husband is a fitness instructor, so I know why you know your stuff. But like, why is it you're taught that and we're not taught that in recruitment? Like,
well, interesting question. In group fitness, we need to get licensed to teach. Part of it is so people can be safe. Right? So we can read the room. And it's really hard being a fitness instructor, because part of our job is to make sure people get a great experience so they stay engaged, but also have a safe workout. So one of the first things that we do is we learn the right form, and we learn the right execution and the right target areas. And then we really learn how to coach it. If you've ever been to a class and someone just kind of is barking orders at you, that might be your style, might not be your style. It's not my style. So generally, in fitness, there's all sorts of certifications and licensing that people get so they can teach a safe class.
Spinning class literally came up like this far from my face. And like,
how did that work for you?
Didn't. I used to go spinning a lot when this happened, but it was just like, I just won't go to your class. So.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So you didn't connect with that instructor, but you might connect with some instructors that might have taught the same class. But in group fitness, there are certifications, licenses. You know, we go through video assessments. We go through lots of training to make sure we can teach a safe, effective class. But more than and in recruiting, not really the case. Think about the number of people who graduate college. They get their first job as a recruiter, smiling and dialing. And to them, recruiting is just making cold calls and like making a lot of them every day. And not really focused on a lot of engagement with candidates and relationship development. In group fitness, we get licensed to teach or certified to teach, but we also have to keep our class sizes. We have to keep people coming back for more.
I mean, is
right? Because if we have nobody in our class,
should we license the class, like licensed recruiters? I mean, because they obviously have some training, but nobody's really training them to. Like I know the people that come on this call, right? They're in the 5% kind of thing, so they do this stuff. But it's like, how do we get people to want to do that? Because obviously, you get a full class, you keep getting classes. Recruitment's not necessarily like that, is it?
Yeah. Well, I think it's not. I think part of it
Mr. Cox, good morning.
We have to. I love what Mr. Cox just said. Stretching before every scheduled candidate call. Yes.
But it's the next one. I
need to get back to that.
I should drink.
What's the next one? I should drink before drinking before every hiring manager call. A pre-workout or a nice kind of BCAA is good for you to build muscle repair. But your question is a good question, right? So you're saying like what sets good recruiters apart from really exceptional recruiters, and those are people that kind of stay connected. And how do we do it, right? We do it through Facebook groups. We do it through.
It's more to the point.
You teach it, Katrina.
I know, but you're taught it to fill a class and keep the class full. For some reason, there isn't that. You've got that immediate thing, right? The fuller the class, the more classes you're going to get. So even though they're filling roles, it's like. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's the engagement.
Where's the incentive in the engagement? I can't think what my question is. Just go along with me. Just pretend I've given you.
I'm going to go along with you. Yeah, that's fine. No, but what you're saying is that, you know, in most other areas that are kind of regulated, right? We we have to teach a certain way, and you don't want recruiting to be completely the same thing for everybody, right? But at the same way, there's a lot of lessons that from teaching fitness classes that make me a much better recruiter, a much better recruiting leader, even a greater dad to my kids. But it's really kind of being able to read the room. And what Mr. Cox just said about kind of stretching before, I want to get to that piece to it. If I said to everyone again, like, do like 20 push-ups right now, that's not a safe way to work, right? If I said, hey, let's warm up the body first, we'll do some stretches, let's get our joints or our limbs, everything moving, kind of increase the heart rate a little bit. And then let me show you how to do a push-up, and let me show you the reason behind it and what we're gonna strengthen. That's good. You just can't run a marathon without warming up or stretching too. So same thing in recruiting. You have to prep for those calls, right? So you have to prep for candidate interviews. You have to prep for, who here on this call has, 9 times out of 10, you have to interview someone, grab the resume off the printer. You're kind of running, oh, you're Bob Smith. Great. Hi, how are you? Tell me about yourself, right? You create a bad experience for that person because you're jumping into that cold. So that's really kind of where that prep time comes in.
Yeah. I lost Audra.
We love you, Audra.
We love you, Audra. I'm inviting you back on screen. I toggled her video hoping to get her to come back, but it didn't work.
Yes, and I saw there's one. Deregulation has a lot to answer for. Yes. There's a lot of beer chats going on here.
You talk to the Brits, what do you expect? It's all about beer. Seriously, I could not get my jeans done back up. It was so worrying. Oh, where is she? Where is she? Oh, I lost her completely. Oh, bless her. We love you, Audra. Come back.
But I would say that, for me, it's also about inclusion in fitness, right? Because we have a lot of people that, hi, Audra, she's here. A lot of people that are worried to try something new. So I teach Zumba, for example. And people think it's all about dancing, and they say, I'm not a dancer. I have no rhythm. I don't have this. I don't have that. And that stops them from coming in. So think about in the recruitment experience, right? When we try to recruit candidates, it's the same thing. They might say, well, I might not have the skills for your company, or I'm not cool enough. I looked at your company website and there's all, I don't seem to fit into that mold, right? Or I've read your reviews on Glassdoor and it just doesn't seem like me, but I have something that's really getting me there. That makes me want to work there. So somebody needs to kind of help them bridge that gap. So in the fitness world, that's what we do, right? We talk to them about the benefits again. We talk to them about what they're going to get out of it. We make sure that they feel included, no matter who they are and what their background is. We give them options if not, and we keep them engaged. And again, if you have injuries,
I don't even know if she's speaking. Is she speaking? Speak, Audra.
What is Carrie saying? What's WB mean?
Back. Carrie. That's lazy.
I don't really know those things.
No, I just guessed. The stream was
unable to connect
due to a network area. Oh, bless her. She was so excited to be on the show, like this particular one. She was even wearing her lycra, wasn't she?
She was wearing some lycra. Hey, and by the way, if you want to know where I am, I'm actually in a fitness studio right now.
I know, that's because at home you have no internet currently.
We have no power in Boston where I live. So, but there's a beautiful calming background here.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to know?
Anyway, we can't hear you or see you or anything. It's just she's waiting to reconnect.
Does anybody have questions on the little sidebar that I'm reading?
I still want to know how we can incentivize people. Because as you know, like I rant on about this, you rant on about this. Most of the people down the side panel also rant on about this. So how do you think that we can get, this is bollocks, it is, Audra. How do you think we can get people, I don't know, why can't they see the benefit?
Of what?
Well, you see the benefit. If I look after people, they'll come to class. If I look after my candidates, they'll come and work for us. Like,
yes.
Is there how do we incentivize people to get it? Like,
it's our approach, right?
As leaders.
I would say as leaders, yeah. I mean, so like for me, I can very easily just have, teach a class and not tell people what the value of a class. Again, like people want to know what
teach the value of the company more.
Yes, but I think the company, the role.
Yeah. Do you think actually, okay, so sorry, I'm inviting Audra back on screen. I'm multitasking, so occasionally I lose the plot of what I was talking about. Plus I am totally just thinking about the fact I should have packed already, but anyway. Hi,
I'm over here.
I know. It's like my little head's going, oh my God, I can't get Audra back on. So I ran a really interesting workshop the other week with Compare the Market here with the insurance company. And it was like even the hiring managers didn't even sort of think, which just seems so logical to me, that they should spend an hour invested up front with the recruiters, really telling them what they wanted to get the benefit down the line of fewer interviews, of interviewing the right people, that kind of a thing. So again, that's why I'm asking, how do we get people bought in to do this?
Yeah, I would say that number one thing is understanding the value, understanding the approach, right? And so let me compare it just to the world of fitness here for a second. The first thing that we do, when we
Michael's response, slap them.
You're on fire today. So what I tell my class sometimes is like, part of like keeping our back safe, like and having safety is by squeezing our glutes. And sometimes I'll say, if you don't squeeze your glutes, someone else will. Yeah. So we can give someone a little slap. Anyhow, so
I'm going to pretend you just didn't say that. There will be no slapping of glutes in this HR department.
No. We squeeze them for safety, though. Very common. So let me kind of bring you through. I'm going to use from soup to nuts, a fitness example. Then we're going to soup to nuts compare it to recruitment and candidate engagement. Right.
Perfect.
So the first thing we do is we talk about the right form. Right.
Yeah.
So imagine I say we're going to get into a hover, and maybe I'll just do it with you guys here on the floor. All right. So if I say everybody,
you got shorts on as well. Holy cow!
I do.
This should be an
if I say I want shoulders over elbows, right? Imagine I say that. I want to make sure that if you want to put our knees down, our knees are going to be outside of our hips and our thumbs are going to be together.
Yeah.
We want to keep our hips square to the floor.
Yeah.
Right. If it feels right, I want you to tuck your toes and lift. And I want your nose, I want you to be facing, I want your face to be down, facing your thumbs, and your back is long and straight, so I can rest a water bottle on it, right?
Perfect.
So I'm holding right now a hover.
Yeah.
Right.
So
now, if I say, but if you have, or a plank would be more like this, right?
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but if I said to you, hey, you know what? If you want to get on your knees, you can get your knees fine. So I just set up the foundation for you, right?
Yeah.
That's number one. In recruiting, we need to set the foundation, right? So we're talking about, what is the foundation? That's having a great job description. That's understanding what the needs of our hiring teams, right? That's understanding every aspect of the job, understanding the compensation. Without that, lots of issues downstream. So number one in group fitness, now you're Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical. So I did not wear my braided terry cloth headband today. That's in my car. Anyway, so the first part is
that up on music and just have that quietly playing in the background.
So the first part is getting the right foundation, right? So imagine I said everyone get into a hover. In your mind, you're like, well, that's a plank. Or some people might say, so I basically explained to you what the right format, what the right position needs to be. The next thing is we talk about is kind of like, general target zones and things like that. Like make sure that our back is long and flat, make sure our arms are here. So now that we got the foundation, now that we understand the job description, if we're comparing it, we understand, what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So in fitness, the next part is kind of really understanding the value it brings to you, right? So by being in that hover, we're actually strengthening our core.
Yeah.
So great. Well, why do we need core strength? Because the core is our glue, which connects everything around us. It gives us functional strength. So understanding that piece to it in a job description, and for jobs and things you're recruiting for is just as important, right? So what's the meaning behind it? Then you understand the pain points, right? So, we're holding this hover. We've held it for 30 seconds. You should be shaking right now, right? And I tell my class, you should be shaking. Oh, I am. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, I'm breathing. So anyway, if your hiring managers don't listen, even after they are told what the form should be, one must have the support of their boss's boss, right? So anyway, the same thing. If someone's not listening,
buy-in thing, right?
Right. And if someone's not listening to me, and I say, let's get into the right form, and someone has their elbow in the wrong place, they're going to get hurt. Right. So that's the same thing. And as we look at, and if we don't have the right job description information, right salary, we don't know who the hiring manager is, down the line, someone's going to get hurt.
So how are you?
It's usually going to be the recruiter.
Is that how you're explaining it to them?
To who?
So if you go out to your hiring managers and like, okay, you're not investing the time to get your form right, to build your strong core, to get to the pain points. I want to still know how you're getting their buy-in. It's like,
right. So how do we get their buy-in?
Yeah, well, slapping on the butt is one thing, but obviously that you can't do that in the HR world.
Absolutely not. No, do not ever do that.
That never happens. Not in the recruitment industry ever.
No. So remember, I talked about explaining the value of things and explaining what it does for you. So when we're holding that hover, we're strengthening our core, and for all the reasons I told you. So you have to explain what the value of that's going to be to them down the line. So if I say by having a strong core now means that 10 years from now, you're going to feel a lot healthier. Or by doing this back exercise, by doing this lift, We're actually strengthening our anti-slouch muscles so we can sit taller, right? So we can be taller and we can stand proud, right? So explaining the benefits behind it are really important. We do in fitness, and we also go through the hiring process. But yes, but the other thing is like speaking from experiences, right? Like we know if someone, there's going to always be downstream issues. So that's the one. So I talked about form. I talked about the value to you. Then we need to throw in coaching, right? That's the next part of it. So if I say, I want you to hold that hover for like a minute. Well, if I just made you hold it for a minute and didn't say anything, that's not good. So we have to coach, right? So I'll give you an interesting example. As part of a training I just was at, I had to hold a hover, I think, for 4 or 5 minutes. I did not think I would be able to do it.
Whoa.
Exactly. I did not think I can do it. And we were
the longest I've done is 2 minutes.
That's a long time. So but I was in a team, 2 of us, and it was how we coach people. So I had to coach one woman for 4 or 5 minutes, and she had to coach me, but we had to understand what they valued. So the woman I was coaching to hold her hover for 5 minutes, she was really competitive, like really competitive. And we talked to each other beforehand. So I said, all right, when I'm coaching her, it's going to be all about her doing better than everyone else in the room. So she would be in the hover, and I'm going to get back into my hover.
Oh God, he's off again.
This is what happened.
Sorry, here comes
and she would look up, look around like that to see what everyone else is doing. I say, look down. And she's like, why? I said, who cares what everyone else is doing? Look down. And I'm like, nobody else is shaking. You're shaking right now, right? And so that kind of kept her going. It was all about competition for her. And
so remember, every cue to work out she was competitive was to see her looking around.
Yes. And I said, look down. I said, why do you care about anybody else?
Yeah,
and
no,
like,
but you were able to pick up the fact she's competitive. So how are we picking up what it is about hiring managers that's going to motivate them to give us good job descriptions? And then I haven't missed John's question here as well about them passing it down the other way as well.
You asked. So like beforehand, we had a conversation. It's like, what motivates you? And she says, you know what? I was a competitive XYZ. I always want to win. And she asked me what motivates me. I said, my family, doing good in the world. Like we were complete opposite. So when it was time so she held her hover for 5 minutes. So I felt like, yes, I got her through it. And when it was my turn to hold it for 5 minutes, I didn't think I could do it. And so I was down like this looking, and she goes, those thumbs of yours are your kids. Keep looking at them. Do it for them. Right. And so so every 30 seconds, she's like, okay, we're halfway through. And she would tell me, like, she knew I was more of an emotional thinker. So I know that you're shaking right now. You know, we're halfway through. We can get through it. And then through the last like 30 seconds, I was like ready to drop. She whispers into my ear, I'm not going to say the word effing got this. As soon as she said that, I was like, yes. And I kind of held that hover, and I was able to get through the whole thing. I didn't think I could do it. Yeah. But I did it because she coached me. She knew who I was, and she knew what motivated me. And the same thing with hiring managers, with candidates, right? Yeah. If we know what their end game is, right? So my end game was trying to hold this for a few minutes. She got me through it. Now I trust her. Yeah. Right. And we formed a bond after that. But I totally trusted her because she got me through something I never thought I can get through. Right. Yeah. So maybe it's hiring a tough person, but it's kind of applying that same coaching skill, which is understanding your audience, understanding what they're looking for, and really getting them through that. So do you think we should? And that's right. Yeah. Trust. Christina makes a good point. Yeah. Trust is huge. I mean, if they don't trust you, would you go to bat for them if you don't trust them? So do you think we should I mean, how many of you guys look on the call as well have coaching training? I know we all often talk about, you can use different tools that do personality tests, but actually putting it into action is something else altogether, isn't it? So we should be teaching that, yeah? Have you gone quiet? Have I lost you? No, don't say that. No, you're there. Good. I'm like, don't stop talking too much. I'll get terrified when I lost you again. But I mean, maybe that's what we should be teaching as well. Coaching is good. I think that would answer John's question. So how do you apply the exercise fitness value analogy to debriefing candidates? But that's probably a similar thing, isn't it? Again, the finding out what they really want. Right. And relating it back to it. So after I teach a class, I'll tell I'll look at a student and I'll say, how do you feel? I didn't even have to ask them. Like I'll say, you did pretty well today, or you did great today. And, and I'll say, and the other thing too is that through that coaching process, we'll do some exercises with my class where we'll stand on one leg and we'll like kind of lift our arms up, and we're really focused on balance. Yeah. And I'll tell them. Is it really not dance the whole time? I thought Zumba was dance the whole time. Well, I teach Zumba. I teach other classes as well, Katrina. So
I'm like, that's why I've never gone, because I'm like, I can't dance for an hour. I can probably dance for about 3 minutes.
Well, the thing is, you don't know until you try it. But I teach other classes where we kind of stand on one leg. We focus on a lot of single leg strength. Yeah. And I'll tell the class, you should be shaking right now, right? Like it's normal to like try to fall over. Yeah. So first time, instead of like, I might say like, like tap your toe down instead of lifting it all the way, right? So we can lift it or tap it. I give everyone different options. But then after 3 classes, I'll say, oh my gosh, remember like 4 weeks ago, you were totally shaking. Now you can do it. So people actually see the value over time, right? And the same thing in recruiting, right? Our hiring managers develop trust, right? Maybe they were able to kind of like wobble on one knee, then all of a sudden they can lift that leg up and they're like, wow, like I can actually do this, right? You've helped me. So
yeah, I guess if we're feeding back to them all the time, so you helped me, you gave me more information up front. So therefore it's become easier. I'm attracting better quality candidates. They're coming into the process. They want to interview more. I guess do we feed that back? We probably don't. Like we tell them how important it is, but we mightn't say, hey, thanks. Like that. Like the random tweets of kindness yesterday, that real being thanking people randomly was like so cool. We need to do more of it.
Yeah, we have to think about when I teach a class, like what is important to everyone in that class. I'll look across the room and I'll see maybe sometimes 20, 30 people, and I'll see people at very different journeys of their life. I'll see some people just getting back into fitness. I'll see some people that have never worked out before, other people who work out and run marathons. And I have to teach something that basically works for everybody, right? And keeps them coming back for more. So that's where that engagement comes in. What I was getting at earlier is like kind of when fitness in general, we talk about form, we talk about the benefit, but then that's that coaching part, right? And that's the part that's super important. And that kind of telling them what they're getting out of it, keeping them engaged, keeping them come back for more is really, really important. And that's with candidates. I always say in recruitment, we have a crock pot at our desk of candidates we keep on a simmer, right? So it's like we're always kind of keep that crock pot in a little bit of a simmer, because you never know when you need somebody, or you might want to refer them to somebody else, but you want to keep them close because maybe you initially talked to them 10, 12 years ago, right? And you kind of remember them, or they remember you. But that's what we do. When we teach classes in fitness, we want to keep people coming back, not because necessarily we want to have great class size, but because we want to see change in people. And I love the change I see in my students every time. And I had a woman, she came to my class, she had a prosthetic leg, and she came to a Zumba class. Yeah. And afterwards she said, Steven, she's like, that was so much fun. I love that so much.
Look.
It's a miracle. Can you hear me?
Why she's on the other side, so that looks really strange, like you're waving at me. That's it.
No matter what, I'll give you high fives. How's that sound? Can I have a high five?
Can you guys actually hear me?
Yeah, see you, hear you, everything.
Whoa.
This is so fun.
Welcome to the final 23 minutes, Audra. Hey. I'm running out of questions. Where's my little co-host?
You don't need questions. I got lots to talk about.
No, Audrey's always got. Yeah, but you guys had the pre-chat and I didn't. So I was like, oh man, I'm flying solo here. What is going? No, she's frozen again. Bless her.
Let me ask people on this call. Has anybody here? If you haven't done a Zumba class, why not? Just tell me. Just put your notes in. Be honest.
I think because of my back is mine. I worry because of the impact on the floor. Because there's lots of jumping around and stuff. I can't really do it.
Yeah, a dude that lives in Texas. Impact. What else? I will get shot. Yeah. Too busy. All right.
You guys will get shot for anything. You can just jaywalk and be shot. You guys just shoot. It's just like.
I guess I never thought about it before. Thank you, Christina. Right. So the reason I have Carrie, thank you.
Yeah.
But the thing is that
Carrie's making up for the other collier on the call who's just shit.
Audra can't because she has no internet.
But we can hear her, which is really nice. It's nice to have her back.
So anyway, Michael, there is a secret underground tribe of people who won't get shot in Texas who do Zumba. I can connect you with them.
But Michael's in a small part of Texas. It's not like he's in Dallas or something. So I'm pretty sure.
But in general, a lot of times people get freaked out because they have a certain image in their mind that Zumba is all about like dancing and you have to be amazing. You have to do all these things. Do they not have it in Texas? They do.
They do.
Everywhere. I'm in the 8th largest city in the U.S.
Where are you again? Remind me. I thought you were in that's gone out of my head. Yeah, San Antonio.
Oh gosh. All right. No excuses. All right. Anyway, but a lot of people have that fear because they have a certain image in their mind of what it is. and they feel like they don't fit into it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the same thing with like maybe when we try to recruit candidates, they might not think that that company is the right fit for them. Right. Or they might think, okay, well, that might be a tired old sleepy company. And I'm more of a startup person, but little do you know that maybe that company
largest city in the US.
Right. What was that?
Hey, you know how we worried the robots are taking over? Here is clear evidence that the robots are taking over.
I don't think Audrey even exists. You're ordering Lululemon? This is Lululemon, okay.
Yeah, Audrey, we can't understand. You have to type your question. It's so lovely to know you're there.
I think Audrey's actually 10.
I think Audrey's under snow or something. Okay, we'll type.
All right.
Bless her. Quite funny. But I think, yeah.
This is awesome. I love the casualness of this. You're right.
Absolutely. I think it is that preconception, isn't it? Where you think that now with employer branding and Glassdoor and obviously all the other review sites, you know, Indeed, Kununu, Fairy Godboss, etc., demystifying it, you think it would be less apprehension, but actually maybe just like all of us who've seen a bit of Zumba and gone, we've just decided that's what it's like from the bit we've seen. Maybe that's why it's even more important that recruiters step up.
Right. Yes, you're right. And I think people might have Well, I think what you're saying is that people might have one recruitment experience and might think that's the only recruitment experience they've ever had, right? Like, and that's how recruitment is. So I hate, a lot of people say, I don't like recruiters because I worked with a recruiter at XYZ agency. They were terrible. I'm never working with recruiters again. You know, I'm going direct, right? But when they see the value of it, it's a whole different world, right? So same thing when people think about maybe, I'm just going to use Zumba as an example. There's a certain thought of what Zumba is, right? It's moving your hips. It's, you know, guys don't really do it, right? Like, you know, but they do. So once you kind of get past that, you try it, it's a whole different world. And I have people who say, Stephen, your Zumba class is very different than another Zumba class I took. Your energy is different, or, you know, so it's different everywhere. So that's, I think people sometimes have preconceived notions about things, right? They might have a preconceived notion about a company, right? And might not want to dip their toe in the water and try, but maybe that recruiter helps them realize why they should actually dip their toe in the water, right? And that's like, for me, when I teach any of my fitness classes, I have someone who says, I have people who say, do you know what? I'm not fit enough to do your class. And I'll ask them, well, what are you looking to do? What are your actual goals? And they'll say, well, I want to become more fit. I want more energy. I'm trying to increase my flexibility. So I'll say, well, actually, maybe that's the reason why you should try. And let's talk about we'll meet before class. We'll go through everything. We'll kind of go through what this will impact. I'll give you options for everything. If that's your goal, why aren't you trying to do that right now? And they'll say, okay. And they'll do it. And they say, I got through this class. I couldn't believe it. Like, you know, that was really fun, or that's not what I expected. I remember I taught a 4th of July class once, and there was the only class on 4th of July that they were offering at the fitness club. So most of the time there's a lot of other classes. So I had people who just wanted to keep moving. I said, okay, I'll do your Zumba class. There's nothing else to do. It's the only class. People came and they were like, I had no idea that's what that was about. And they said, we're coming back for more. It was pretty amazing. So,
So it's quite funny because Audrey's written down the side here, because bless her, even though she's here, and hi, Jim, by the way, we can't actually hear her because she sounds like a robot. This is where employment branding comes in. But that goes back to what I was saying. Maybe we're not actually understanding the employment branding that we're seeing. People might think of your company one way, but it's changed. People need education. In different departments and companies. Are there review sites for exercise instructors? Random comment out of Audra. And Jim is not going to wear his shirt the next time he comes on our show, which we might just book you in the next few weeks just for that.
I'm not going to respond to the second part. But I will respond to the first part. A lot of fitness centers actually collect feedback, sometimes via apps and tablets, things like that after classes. Other fitness centers, what will happen is if you have a bad instructor, generally speaking, the group fitness instructor will have awareness of it. There are reviews. Yes, there are people do get reviewed in different places. So yes, it happens. And people also get turned in for being bad instructors. I'm not joking. So for example, let me give you an example. I'll just use Zumba as an example. We have to follow a very specific formula in Zumba. We have to do a certain mix of Latin music and non-Latin music and we have to make sure we're doing a good mix of different rhythms, from salsa to merengue to cumbia to reggaeton and so forth. Some people just teach all reggaeton classes. Right? Which isn't actually the Zumba formula. So they're diluting it. Some people, their license expired and they still teach and they post their classes. So guess what happens? There's actually like a hotline that we can reach out to and tell people. And what happens is those people get notified and they basically get in big trouble. So it's like we actually within our own field can, you know, the Zumba world can say, hey, you know what? You're not doing this the right way. We can kind of anonymously report it and it gets researched pretty quickly. So it's actually very interesting. So even amongst our peers, it's kind of like a, the Hunger Games a little bit.
So when you
but if you're doing it right, what's the problem?
In a way, you're doing like a refusal review or an exit review when people leave and don't come back. It was interesting because I emceed the Candidate Experience Awards for EMEA last week. And there was a guy there, I had to look his name up, Jason Moreau from Surveil. And he was talking about that they do refusal surveys. So that's a bit like the people that won't come back to class again because it's like they're not committed, but they won't take the offer. And what he was saying is actually if you go to them and actually find out more and delve more and find out why, a lot of them will actually accept. It's again a misconception. They've understood something in the process, which I found really interesting. But Audrey,
and
sorry. I was just noticing Audra's gone off on a diversity one here as well. So Michael's written, if you're a good recruiter, you still get turned in and hated on. Yeah, I know. We're just hated. Recruiters are just hated. We just are. We are.
Well, this is a safe space right here.
Absolutely, we're the 5%. But you know, that brings up the diversity topic. Stephen is good at that as well.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that before. But you know, I kind of look at it inclusivity, right? And the thing is that a lot of people, like I said earlier, might be scared to take a fitness class because they might be too old, or they might be not in shape enough, or they might not look like the mold in their head of someone who should be taking that class. Yeah. Right. And that will immediately turn them off. And that's the same thing. It relates to diversity, inclusion, and employer brand, right? So let's talk about it from the diversity standpoint. So if you're looking at a class and nobody looks like you in that class, right? Maybe from a fitness perspective, let's say you go to a class and there are all these like people like in like tight tank tops and like ripping muscles and you know, like a 6-packs, and is someone behind you?
Yes.
Oh, hey. Anyway. They don't know, not like
everyone thinks I live alone for some reason, but anyway. I don't.
Anyway, but you would be hesitant to joining there because people like you might not be in that class, right? So let's say you're in your 70s and you're somewhat deconditioned and you're looking to come back. You might be hesitant to joining because people like me don't work there, or people like me aren't in the class. Yeah. Right. That's the same issue we have, and that's kind of a diversity issue, right? But that's the same issue we have from an employer brand perspective. Look at your website, look at your social media presence. If it all is the same kind of stuff, then you're not going to attract the other people who bring a lot of value to the organization. And that's a common issue. And beer bellies are totally allowed, right? What does AFAF mean? Is that a bad word?
Asking for a friend.
I'm learning so many things today. I learned what WB means. AFAF. I thought that meant. I know what AF means.
Carrie was doing mega short.
I thought that was like AF squared, which I was like, wow, that's pretty heavy. But yeah, so the thing is like, so making your brand work. Yeah. And also talking to your hiring managers about what you need to do in the recruitment process to encourage more people to come. Right. So so that's really key there too. But yeah, diversity is important. You know, but a lot of people are in fitness scared to do things because they have certain preconceived notions, right? Yeah. So, yes, absolutely.
So again, I think it's just you're demystifying it with knowledge, aren't you? So we just need to be getting more and more information out there. So because obviously the recruiters can't talk to everybody either. I think we need more information. Like I just love the video content and stuff on websites, but genuine.
Well, stuff. What if so for example, like at the studio, I'm at a studio right now. You can see it's a nice little place here, and we have a class called Sculpt here, and a lot of people don't know what that is. So the woman who teaches the class is actually doing a live Facebook Live of the class, so people can watch it for a full hour. Yeah. Right. And say, hey, you're home, you can watch it. Here's what you'll need. Just check this out. Right. And it's like, I think there's like Tabata in it. There's some yoga stuff. I don't even know myself. Yeah. It looks really amazing, but she's doing a Facebook Live to showcase it so other people can say, oh, that's not what I thought. Right. So think about recruitment branding. What do we do like that to kind of showcase who we are? Sculpt sounds painful. Well, I don't know, Michael. Why don't you check out the live Facebook feed at So Vital Studio in Littleton, Mass?
Yeah, I think you should just type that in the side for the rest of us who didn't understand what you just said.
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Brad, a new Zumba type exercise. Push up, shot of liquor. Push up, shot of liquor. Push up, shot of liquor. You may not get in shape, but after you push up, you won't care. I like that class. Audra's in.
That's next. Oh my gosh.
So we can hear her
I didn't know my audience here. I should talk about something completely different. Oh, wow. Whoa. Zumba shots. I will tell you sometime about a story about one of my kind of
funny.
I did have a class of people once people were a little bit freaked out before coming to class because it was their first time. So some people might have done shots before that class or not. Yeah. But that's a whole other meeting that we can have. But yes. So that's kind of diversity and inclusion part. Yeah. But again, kind of informing people what it's like. So again, that class here that we're going to call Sculpt, doing like a live video for it is actually pretty cool because it can make people say, yes, I want to do that. No, I can't. Do I connect with that instructor? Right. And same thing in recruiting, right? Maybe if it's, I don't know, if there are like live events you can do, or if there's different things you can do.
Absolutely.
Like have you guys like that?
I still think the video job descriptions, going back to this particular compared to market, one guy and he's going, just the CVs we were getting, resumes in your case, was so wrong and all this kind of stuff. And you're going, well, when did you invest the time telling the recruiters what you wanted? So if they'd done that on video, as if they were talking to the potential recruit, like how amazing, short, sharp, this is the kind of background we're doing. You come in and do this, we know it's new. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
quick preview. Hey, like we're looking to hire this. Like if I said like, hey, like we're looking to hire for our studio. Check out this great space.
Absolutely.
I'm actually using like a laundry basket to kind of hold my laptop on. Right. It's very, very nice. But like if you give people a general sense of it, that's give them a taste of it. It gets them excited. Right. And that's kind of really expanding it. So
yeah.
And fitness, a lot of people
when you think about there's 4 billion people on the internet now, which is a hell of a lot of information coming at us all the time. Yes, there's a person walking past behind me, Stephen. Don't be distracted. And it's a very distracting, apparently, Richard. So you got 4 billion people on the internet, all of that noise, and then everyone's ability to not answer an email, to not answer a phone, to not answer a text. We can ignore. Whereas if you produce this peer-to-peer real stuff, people will actually get bought into that as well. I think
they will.
Apparently, Nancy has been holding a hover through this entire call. Methinks she may jest.
Nancy is a badass. Well, yes, I'm glad.
A triple badass.
Yes, that's really impressive. I have too, but in my mind, you just can't tell. Don't watch this video through Jim.
Yeah, they're just shopping at that point. They won't watch the video until they have an interview or get close. Which video? Oh, what did I miss? So, Andor's video job description. Yeah. I think it depends how quick they are. I think they need to be quite short, and I think it's how you put them together as well.
Agreed.
So,
check.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what, Mister? We're pretty well out of time. So if there's any last few short and clever videos recommended. Yeah, there's a guy that's doing some on LinkedIn at the moment. Oh, he's trying to be funny. It's not. It's very British humor funny as well. So it's like it won't translate to most people. So she loves them. I know that, but that's because you've lived here. I don't think most Americans would love them. They're so bad. He's just trying too hard. The stuff we did on Valentine's Day, I wanted to shoot myself. Yeah. He is not coming on our show. He can have his own show. Jim, I'll send you a link. It's bad. He's an agency recruiter. It's just bad. Who's oh God, I'm having a blank. The person who sends the you can put it together, the videos. Audra, the name. Oh my God.
Oh,
sorry, SRC. I'm having a moment. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart of nothing.
A brain cramp. Video my
brain cramp. Yeah. No, not video my job. The other one. She's been on our show. Oh my God. I'm completely blank. But she can actually show you how to put together a job description that's really interesting. Skill Scout. Exactly. So video my job. Do an awesome one. And Abby at Skill Scout. I've just gone completely blank. I'm like picturing her beautiful blonde curls. Yeah, completely blank. I prefer the first two though, if I'm honest. I love the fact that she gives you this sort of sheet to help you create your own, so you don't have to invest a fortune. as well, which is really cool. And video mode is cool because it organically loads up onto LinkedIn and to Facebook, which gets you more views, which is also cool.
So what you're saying is that you're giving people a sense of what they can expect, right? You're giving them an authentic view into it. Same thing in fitness, right? If I just, so imagine you just showed up at a class not knowing what you're going to do. Imagine like you read a class and let's just say it's tone or body move or like, like I just showed up. You probably wouldn't just show up to a class, right? But before class, the instructor says, all right, today we're going to focus on the core and all the muscles that surround our core. We're going to having 30 minutes today because our core is the glue that connects us. It gives us good functional strength. After this class, you're going to definitely be, you're going to have, better stability, this and that. You're going to say, I know what we're doing, right? And if we say, now we're going to work the back in this core class, you might be like, well, why? Well, this is all connected, right? So we're going to, so it's, you're going to leave with great strength, right? And you're, but that's what you're getting people set up to understand what's to come. Right. Yeah, exactly. What are they going to expect? What are they not going to expect? What's going to work? What's not going to work for them? So
exactly. Well, Mister, this has been amazing. Even though we've kind of had a grey blob for Audra, we love you really.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to finish it in a hover just for you guys. Finish it right here.
We all just want to jerk those shoulders.
All right.
So before you go,
hurry this up.
Huh?
Yes, go on.
You've made me blank on Rachel's surname now. Like, stop it. Oh my God.
I can't do burpees right now.
Audra, help me out here. So next Friday is super, super exciting. So tonight I'm flying to Australia. So I'll eventually arrive sometime on Sunday. So we have 2 shows next week, but run by different people. So Katrina Kibben is stepping in for me with Audra to interview Rachel Darren, the one that failed 2 weeks ago, but we are sure that it's going to happen on Friday next week. And then, she loves her. Oh, no, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to ignore them on the side. Very distracting. And then I am interviewing with Hazana Rudd and Mark Mansour, 2 Australian recruiters. And the following week, I'm interviewing 2 New Zealand recruiters while I'm in Australia. So because these guys are always on the wrong time zone. So you guys will actually be able to tune in because you'll still be awake. It will be evening for you, but usually they're in the middle of their night. So super excited to do that while I'm back in the colonies. So that's what's happening. Mr. Kosakow, thank you.
Yes.
Thank
you. And thank you, Robot Audra, wherever you are.
Oh, she's on the side. That way. I don't know which way she's to you. Yeah, Robot Audra.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's different in the US. It's right to left or something. We drive on a different side.
I think it depends how switched up your seat as well. So I've got mine really spread out. Anyway, thank you so much for translating.
Thank you. The other thing too, is anybody on this call, the toilet flushes the other way. Oh my God. Just the vortex or something. But if anybody's in the Boston area and they want to come to one of my classes, try it out.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to,
add a link.
Yes.
We can all come find you on Twitter. We've all got your Twitter. We know where you are. We can come find you. I might be in the Boston area and I'm definitely not going to go, but that's nothing to do with you. It's called sheer laziness. Right.
Did this call not teach you anything, lady?
No, nothing. Right. Thank you so much, guys. We shall see you next week at various times. Thanks again.
I love you guys.
Bye.
All right.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Bye.